Good evening, dear members of Commission. Let me welcome you at today's trial. And by this, I open the trial of today, which is the first book of Moses. Cover name Genezis. The investigation of the case of Judah versus Joseph will be running according to the reconstruction of chapter 37. Chapter 37. Now, the sons of Jacob were 12. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. The sons of Rachel, Joseph and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's servant, Dan and Naphtali. The sons of Zilpah, Leah's servant, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Paddan Aram. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brothers. Joseph brought an evil report of them to their father. Jacob loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age. His brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, and they hated him. Judah said to his brothers, "What profit is it if we kill our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let's sell him to the Ishmaelites." And they sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. The merchants brought Joseph into Egypt. The court acceded to the reconstruction of chapter 37, and in the case of Judah versus Joseph, calls the defendant, who is being accused of restricting personal liberty and white flesh trade. Judah, a shepherd, 27 years old. Are you ready to present your opening statement, Mr. Defendant? Do you plead guilty of a white flesh trade, Mr. Judah? Mr. Judah?
Dobre, prepáčte, a mohol by som vedieť, že teda kto ma obvinil, či to bol môj brat Ruben, alebo...
Mr. Judah, could you please communicate with me in English?
Pretože ja si myslím, že je to celkom podstatné, keď viete, že...
Okay, thank you. Obviously not. So the court calls the court translator, please. Thank you. Mr. Judah, could you please repeat what you have said so that the translator can translate it?
Ja som sa len pýtal, že teda kto ma obvinil, či to bol môj brat Ruben, alebo nejaký iný z mojich súrodencov.
Je vous laisse seulement demander qui m'a accusé. C'était mon frère Ruben ou un autre frère?
Mr. Translator, please, you are a French translator?
Évidemment.
And do you speak English?
Oui.
And can you please, would you be so kind and translate into English?
Non.
Well, brilliant. Then let's continue in 3 languages. Wow, yes. So, Mr. Judah, could you please repeat what you have said so that Mr. Translator can translate it?
Ja nerozumiem, prečo súdite mňa, keďže sme tam boli všetci 12, chápete, a prečo práve ja.
pourquoi vous jugez moi quand il y étions tous 12 frères?
Oh, well, then Judah said to his brothers, "Come and let's sell him to the Ismailites."
A čo?
Et quoi?
A čo?
Et quoi?
Čo na základe toho, že ja som to povedal, tak teraz.
Comme je l'ai dit, on l'a fait.
No dobre, spravili to, ale
Bon, on l'a fait.
Naozaj nemyslím, že sme robili niečo zlé, my sme toho Jozefa iba
On lui a donné ce qu'il a
on
mérité.
sa spravil k nám, takže ja si nemyslím, že som...
Donc, je ne pense pas que je suis coupable.
You think your brother deserved to be sold to Egypt?
Samozrejme, že áno.
Ah oui, bien sûr qu'il
Keby
a
ste vedeli, čo on
mérité.
pozrite sa, viete, my sme taká
Regardez,
veľká rodina, mám...
je viens d'une grande famille, j'ai 4 mères, parce qu'elle concourait qui va accoucher plus de fils pour mon père. Donc nous sommes en
A
fait
Jozef prišiel s nejakými
16.
snami, mu sa začalo snívať o nejakých snoch.
Joseph,
že on mal nejaký svoj snov.
il est venu avec ses rêves,
A že my sme mali svoje.
avec des gerbes de paille qui se sont inclinés à les siens gerbes de paille. Et puis une autre rêve,
Sa mi snívalo, že mal, že sa mu kláňal
un rêve galactique où 11 étoiles se sont inclinées à lui, on est 12. Et aussi la lune et le soleil, donc le père et la mère.
Ale viete, čo bol najväčší vrchol?
Mais vous savez ce qu'était
Najväčší
le
vrchol
pire?
bol, keď mu dal otec ušiť taký
Mon
plášť.
père lui a fait
A my sme,
cousu
vieš, čo museli chodiť v
une
tých
tunique.
What tunic?
Taký plášť, taký
Une tunique
pestrofarebný, dlhý,
Tunique pleine de couleurs.
odvážny, veľmi príjemný na
Une tunique en soie moelleuse, très agréable, fait à la main,
Napríklad taký obláčik s tribúnom.
un nuage.
A na bolo také slniečko a
Une soleil de fil doré.
a viete, čo bolo?
Vous savez ce qui était intéressant?
Na tom plášti bolo to, že
Que quand vous l'avez regardé, vous avez
nejaké také teplé.
l'impression qu'il y a une chaleur. Quand je l'ai regardé, j'avais l'impression qu'un seul mouton peut changer le monde.
Mr. Judah, do you think that you could tell us something, maybe just a little bit connecting with the case we are investigating in here?
Prepáčte, a vy si naozaj myslíte, že ja vám nehovorím nič k veci prípadu?
Vous pensez que je ne
Vy
vous
si
dis
myslíte,
rien
že ja vám tu hovorím
concernant le cas?
pre nič sa, nič, že nemám čo robiť?
Well, I must say that until now, you have said almost nothing about it.
Nehnevajte sa na mňa, ale dobre, tak keď ide stádo zlým smerom, tak kto je na vine?
C'est un troupeau dans le mauvais sens. À qui est la faute?
Troška na vine pastier, ktoré vedie to stádo
Le
zlým
mouton
smerom.
ou le
Ja si
berger?
naozaj myslím, že sa tu bavíme o...
Mr. Judah, I must ask you to stop talking about the sheep.
Nehnevajte sa na mňa, akože dobre,
Jugez-moi, faites-le.
ale ja chcem, aby ste súdili
Mais tout
človeka,
d'abord,
ktorý toto
à la
všetko
fond de ce cas,
začal.
jugez l'homme qui a commencé. Jugez l'homme qui couche avec 4 femmes à la
Súďte
fois.
človeka, ktorý
Jugez
ukradol
l'homme
požehnanie od
qui a
vlastného
volé
brata,
le droit de naissance de son
Keď
frère.
chcete niekoho
Jugez mon
súdiť,
père,
súďte môjho otca, súďte
Jugez
Jakoba.
Jacob.
The character needs to accede to the reconstruction of chapter 27 at first. The defendant, you may sit down for now. Chapter 27. When Rebekah's day to be delivered were fulfilled, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red and all over, like a hairy germinant. They named him Esau. After that, his brother came out, and his hand had hold on Esau's heel. He was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. The boys grew. Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field. Jacob was a quiet man living in the tents. Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, and he could not see. He called Esau his elder son and said, "See now, I'm old. I don't know the day of my death. Make me some food such as I love and bring it to me, that I may eat and that my soul may bless you before I die." Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son, and she spoke to Jacob, her son, saying, "I will make them savory food for your father, such as he loves. You shall bring it to your father, that he may eat, so that he may bless you before his death." Behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. What if my father touches me? I would bring a curse on myself and not a blessing. Rebekah took the good clothes of Esau, her elder son, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. She put the skins of the young goats on his hands and on the smooth of his neck. The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And then he blessed him. Behold, your brother Esau is planning to kill you. Arise and run away. The Kurt acceded to the reconstruction of chapter 27, and in the case of Jacob versus Isaac, calls the defendant who is being accused of lawless acquisition of blessing and criminal act of double marriage. Jacob, the blessed one, 19 years old. Jacob, the blessed one, 19 years old, please.
Dobrý den, Jacob.
Bonjour.
Dobrý den.
Mr. Defendant, please move to your spot, into the light. Are you ready to present your opening statement, Mr. Jacob? Mr. Jacob, do you plead guilty of lawless acquisition of blessing?
Bon. Moi,
Ja som robil iba to, čo mi povedala matka.
j'ai seulement fait ce que ma mère m'a
Tak
dit.
potom
Are you saying that your mother seduced you into crime?
to som tak nemyslel.
Non, non, je ne
Som
voulais
chcel
pas
iba
dire
povedať, že
cela.
keď
You've just said it to the Kurt.
nemyslel som to tak.
C'était pas mon intention.
Nehovorte, že
Ne le lui dites pas.
Mr. Jacob, from now on, all you have to say to the court is what you also mean like that. Things you don't mean like that are things we don't need to hear. Okay? So, I repeat the question. Do you plead guilty of lawless acquisition of blessing? And please answer only yes or no.
Tak pozrite sa,
Regardez.
u nás v rodine to býva tak, že požehnanie dostáva vždy v
La bénédiction appartient au premier-né.
Very well say, and you are not the firstborn, so...
No, ale ja som si to prvorodenstvo
Mais je
kúpil.
l'ai
Za tú
acheté
misu Šošovice.
pour un bol de lentilles, n'est-ce pas?
You bought your birthright for a bowl of lentils.
Za misu Šošovice.
Oui, pour un bol de lentilles.
Well, if this is something you really mean like that, then please tell the court where did this act happen, under what circumstances, and when.
OK, tak
Bon.
bol to večer. A
C'était au soir.
môj brat sa vracal domov
Mon
a
frère venait de rentrer
povedal teda,
et il m'a dit,
daj. On tak zvykne, keď je hladný.
c'est son usage de dire vent quand il a faim.
A teda ja som mu na to, že mám tu
Moi,
misu
j'ai dit,
Šošovice
j'ai
a
un bol de
on na to,
lentilles.
že daj.
Il a dit,
Som mu povedal, že dám ti svoju misu
j'ai dit,
Šošovice,
je te donnerai mon bol de lentilles,
ale až keď mi ty dáš za ňu svoje
mais si tu me
prvorodenstvo,
donnes
taký súrodenec,
ton droit de
je
naissance,
košer.
tout cocher.
A teda on na to daj.
Il a dit,
Tak si myslím, že odtedy to
de ce moment-là, je suppose alors que je suis le premier-né légitime.
Well, Mr. Jacob, I'll give you another question, okay? Do you plead guilty of the criminal act of double marriage? Mr. Jacob, could you please answer my question? I can hear you laughing, Mr. Jacob. I think you are laughing you're laughing in this part. Is there something funny? Because maybe I missed some joke. I didn't hear anything funny in here, but maybe we are not good. Maybe we became somewhere some comic show or something that is really funny, and I would love to laugh too. Maybe if you tell me some joke, or maybe I could just try it without the jokes with the
Ja som dosiaľ ženu nepoznal.
Je ne connais pas de femme.
Oh, that really sounds lovely. Just there is a little thing that you are denying your family in here. Are you really denying the fact that you have 12 sons, or how many? And are you denying here your whole family, your blessed family, out of 16 members? So I cannot even count it. Is it true?
Mne je toto naozaj ľúto, ale
Je suis vraiment désolé, mais je
Oh,
le
and
dis.
you are sorry about it. And don't you think that your son in here could be also sorry hearing his father denying him?
Madame la juge, je peux une petite remarque.
What?
Est-ce que vous vous rendez compte que ça se passe avant tout cela? Qu'il ne sait pas ce qui viendra.
Well, the court is aware of this fact, of course. Did you, Mr. Defendant, tell the court how old are you?
ja som 19.
19.
Oh, well, the court is going to access to a shorter break, okay?
Ja som tvoj syn teda.
Je suis ton fils.
Teda.
Je serai ton fils.
No je to teda taká šovia.
Je cher, n'est-ce pas?
Nemusíš nič hovoriť o mňa.
Tu n'as pas à dire quelque chose.
Vlastne my sme sa tak nikdy nerozprávali.
Quand même, on n'a jamais parlé.
Takže ty budeš
Donc,
Jozef, nie?
tu seras Joseph?
Ja som vždy chcel mať syna Jozefa, tak
Nie, ja nie som Jozef.
Non, je ne suis pas Joseph. Levi?
Ale nie.
Levi je
No.
tiež pekné meno.
Ale toto
Bon.
Šimeon, uhádni meno
Qu'est-ce que
svojho
c'est?
dieťaťa.
Devine le nom de ton fils.
Volám sa Juda.
Je m'appelle Judas.
Juda. Však to je tiež pekné
C'est
meno.
aussi un bon nom.
To ti dala asi matka.
C'était ta mère qui te l'a
Čo,
donné.
ani nevieš, ktorá to bola.
Tu ne même sais pas laquelle était.
We are returning to the investigation. Okay, Mr. Jacob, please return to your place. And tell me if you remember something about the lawless acquisition of blessing.
A ty vlastne, čo si tu? Prečo si tu?
Mr. J-
En fait, qu'est-ce que tu fais ici? Pourquoi tu es ici? J'ai vendu mon frère. Tu l'as bien vendu? Vends d'argent. Vends d'argent, ça pourrait être 40 000 de bols de lentilles.
Mr. Jacob, why did you lie to your father? Please tell me this.
Áno, niečo. Pozrite sa, toto je váš úhol.
Regardez,
Ja
c'est
si
votre point
naozaj
de vue.
nemyslím, že
My point of view, and you find it fair that your brother has to live without blessing?
môj brat určite
Mon
dostal
frère, il
nejaké
a bien sûr
požehnanie.
une
Tak povedz
bénédiction.
Izáka.
Don Isaac.
Mr. Judah, could you please stop interrupting this court? You are the one who called your father in here.
Pardon, nehnevajte sa.
So,
Désolé.
Mr. Judah, would you like to say something to the court?
Áno.
Oui.
Well then,
Oui.
at first, you have to ask for your word by raising your hand. Mr. Judah, would you like to say something? You are raising your hand.
Áno, ja by som niečo povedal.
Oh, well then,
Oui, en effet, il veut dire
Ja
quelque
chcem
chose.
sa teda poznať, prečo súdite môjho otca na základe toho, že
Monsieur
dostal
Judas,
dar. Prečo
il a
nesúdite Izáka?
une très bonne question. Pourquoi on juge celui qui a reçu la bénédiction par celui qui l'a donnée?
oh, that sounds very logical. You want me to call Mr. Isaac here, right? And judge him because of old age or blindness?
A čo teraz? A čo? Že je starý a slepý, to teraz nemôžeme
Quoi?
súdiť. Tak aj ja som mohol napríklad keď počkať, budem starý a
Si
slepý,
je
mohol by som
si je
stretať
suis
brata a nikto
vieux
by mi nič nepovedal.
et aveugle,
Alebo by
je
niečo
peux
mohol
tuer
som
des enfants?
vraždiť
Pourquoi?
deti a nikto by mi nič
N'est-ce pas?
Lebo som
No
starý a
one is
slepý.
killing his kids in here. You are changing the subject again.
Taký Abraham.
Abraham. Madame la juge, évidemment, ne sait pas ce qui est Abraham.
Tak jej povedz, kto to je, prosím.
Áno, Abraham
Donc,
chcel
Monsieur Jacob
zabiť svojho
va
jediného syna,
expliquer
svojho
ce qu'on tous sait très
vyčúdeného,
bien.
vymodleného
Abraham était
syna
un
chlapca,
homme
bol schopný
qui a
zobrať
pris
na
son fils
kopec
sur
a
le
obetovať ho
volant
tam
et
ako
là il l'a
zápalnú obetu,
offert
lebo
pour
schopný
Dieu.
držať ten
Donc
obrovský
il a
môž,
presque
ešte sa mu
tué.
pozerať do jeho
Il
detských očí.
voulait
Prepáčte,
voulu
ale čo je
le tuer.
to?
Mais
Pre
vraiment,
našu dieťa a jeho
qu'est-ce que c'est comme la Cour de justice? Vous n'avez pas lu la Bible? Vous connaissez rien de l'histoire fondamentale de la généalogie?
The court is going to accede to the reconstruction of another chapter. It will be chapter 21 and 22. You can sit down. Okay. So, chapter 21 and 22. Yahweh visited Sarah as he had said, and Yahweh did to Sarah as he had spoken. Sarah conceived and bore Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. Abraham called his son Isaac. Abraham was 100 years old when Isaac was born to him. Abraham, don't lay your hand on the boy or do anything to him, for now I know that you fear God. The court acceded to the reconstruction of chapter 21 and 22. And in the case of Abraham versus Isaac, calls the defendant who is being accused of attempting murder. And the defendant is Abraham, and he is already here. So, Abraham, the forefather, 110 years old. Well, okay, are you ready to present your opening statement, Mr. Abraham?
Súdite pravca? Za čo?
Vous jugez le patriarche? Pourquoi?
For what? Well, the chapter 16 is saying Abraham slept with Hagar, his slave, and she conceived. And then the chapter 21 is saying early the next morning Abraham took some food and a skin of water and gave them to Hagar. He set them on her shoulders and then sent her off with the boy. She went on her way and wandered in the desert. Mr. Abraham, you let your own son with his mother wandering in the desert, and then you tried to kill your other son. So I really think I have a right to ask you here to defend yourself.
Le caravane de la Genèse s'est mis à la route beaucoup plus tôt que nous. Notre voyage terrestre n'est que l'accomplissement du sens du suprême. La lumière mène dans une bonne direction. Or, pas tout le monde connaître ce chemin. Pas chacun est résolu à marcher dans sa direction. Ce que je l'ai fait par la volonté de Dieu. Est-ce que nous
Yes, we are all sinners since Eve made her sin. Very well said, Mr. Abram. So I think the thing is clear right now. We all know what is coming. We are going to judge a woman. And concretely, it's going to be Eve. So in chapter 4, God made a woman from the rib which he had taken from the man and brought her to man.
qu'on pourrait continuer? Merci. Vous savez, peut-être si vous alliez défaire un colis, il y aura un pas suivant caché. Oui, celui-là. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Et ici, Madame, peut-être il y a encore quelque chose. Et voilà. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Une pomme. Quelle originalité. Une pomme dans une histoire biblique. Ça devrait surprendre. Le pomme. Pomme. Pomme.
The man knew Eve, his wife. She conceived and gave birth to Cain.
Mesdames et messieurs, maintenant, vous allez voir une courte scène de danse moderne performée par Madame la juge, où elle va métaphoriquement exprimer ce qui était dit. Pantomime.
Again, she gave birth to Cain's brother Abel.
Deuxième essai. Magnifique.
As time passed, Cain brought an offering to Yahweh from the fruit of the ground. Abel also brought some of the firstborn of his flock and of its fat. Yahweh respected Abel and his offering, but he didn't respect Cain and his offering. Cain was very angry.
Professionnel. On pourrait se mettre d'accord, je pense, que Madame la juge devrait aller jouer sur un festival du théâtre professionnel, n'est-ce pas?
While they were in the field, Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and killed him.
Did you not hear the word of God? Everybody heard it. The word of God is above all words.
So, please judge. Let
Mr. Judge,
Try it again.
go for it.
Go.
Mr. Judge, you can do it. Bring it about. Go, 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 go!
Another one.
Another one. Come on. Just a reconstruction.
Just an apple.
Cain killed Abel. You are not killed Apple? Please go. Go. Kill it. Now. Carry on. Carry on.
I'm afraid you got to deep into
Oh.
the role of defendant, Judge.
Sorry, Eve. Sorry, Eve.
I cannot do this. Just a moment.
Oh, she cannot kill an apple. A woman.
Finally managed it. Okay, look at this.
Little Abels.
Yes.
So many little labels.
Okay, 1 million
How do you feel,
labels.
Mrs. Judge? How is it?
Okay.
Please share with us your feelings.
Yeah, let's make some thriller or
What?
something.
Stop. So, Miss Judge,
Say something to us.
how you feel?
How does it
Yeah.
feel?
Do you want us to bury it? To bury Abel?
Something. What should we do now?
Abel pie.
Abel pie.
Ladies and gentlemen, how to make an apple pie in 3 steps. First step, you need an Eve. Oh, great, we got her. So next step, kill your own son.
I'm gonna kill you.
So there's nothing simpler than that. First step, bring it all together, add what you like, and enjoy. Enjoy it, share it.
Stop.
Judge. Let's judge. Well, we are going to judge again.
Who you want, Judge?
Let's judge. I don't know.
3
Or a snake.
Or snake. Okay.
You like judging,
Yeah,
right?
you should like to judge something.
Why?
Everyone was able to call someone. I would like to call God to defend himself. Yes.
God.
I just think that it's a normal thing what I'm asking.
It's not normal, but
Let's go. Judge God.
we would like to ask you
Please,
to
Lord, come with us.
and present yourself.
I call God for lawless creation of world. Mr. God, could you please?
The court is now opening a new case called Theater versus Reality. Regarding it, we have seen a reconstruction of a play, Genezis trial. I would like to call the Slovak theater company Súbor Uložiť to come on the stage for their hearing. Could the group please choose one representative to speak in its defense regarding the case, please? Could the theater company choose one representative, please?
We didn't finish, sorry.
Do young artists want to claim their right for defense, or shall we omit it and move on to delivering judgment? Okay, so if you...
Yes, I would like to say something.
Oh, you would like... Yes, so
I
your
don't-
turn.
I just don't know what else.
Yeah? Young lady,
Yes,
you
I
wanted to
can-
say something?
we are accused of something. Then what are we accused of?
Do you mean this question seriously?
Yes, of course I do. I have no idea.
Well, okay. Based on the reconstruction of your play, you are accused of hate speech and expressing and spreading hatred towards a group on account of religion.
Sir, we did not express any hate. We did not finish.
Artists. Could you please use your time for defense? Do you want to defend yourself, or do you want to talk things that is not related to...
I'm just trying. There will be no need for us to defend if you let us finish.
Oh, yes, you will have a chance to finish your play
Okay, I
once you
will
have
tell you how it
successfully
will end.
defended
Okay.
yourself.
Okay, so next one who will be
Okay.
called will be
I
God,
would
but-
like to ask you to talk briefly
Sure,
and
sure, but
regarding
God
the
will
case,
not
yeah?
come, of course. So we will call some him like Buddha.
You would call, yes, you would like to judge God, our creator, the one who created you, me, and all people in this room. That's who would you judge,
I
yeah?
would not judge him. I would just I would just...
Okay, I think this is getting too complicated. I asked you to talk briefly, so therefore, the truth is usually very simple and your defense has gotten overcomplicated. Therefore, let me put it simply, based on the reconstruction of your play, the court finds your theater company guilty of hate speech and expressing and spreading hatred towards a group on account of religion. From now on, you are not allowed to present your work publicly. I will ask you now to leave the stage. Please.
Can I ask you who you are, mister?
Could you please leave the stage?
Can you please come on stage and
You
tell
know,
us
it's
your
not
name?
important who I am, important are people who chose me to protect our society from such individuals, neglected ones like you who would like to judge our gods, our creator. Could you please leave the stage? I want to thank young artists who understood the situation. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you very much.
I see a huge difference between them.
You know when you're being Slovak and you're making embarrassment here in Monaco, is it what you want? I want to...
Could I just go on a
I want to apologize to the audience for the One more time, I want to apologize for the